Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Writing Cabin with Tara Benner. I'm fantasy author Tara Benner, and this is my cabin. We all need to escape into story from time to time, so come on in, sit down by the fire, pour yourself a nice hot cup of coffee, and let's talk books. Now, before we get started today, I want to take a quick second to thank my wonderful patrons. Patrons, your support not only funds the creation of new short stories, but it tells me that you enjoy my books so much that you want to support them and me directly. If you, dear listener, would like to join our Patreon family, you can do so over at patreon.com/Tara Benner Labs. I create a brand new short story or piece of writing every single month that's exclusive to Patreon, as well as a monthly video diary. And this coming month, September 1st, I'm going to be publishing part 3 of The Silver Flame Dragon, which is a brand new prequel novella for the series that I am currently working on. You can gain access to my entire library of Patreon exclusive stories for just $2. And in the library, you'll find an alternate spicy epilogue to Warrior Witch, plus roughly 17 unpublished Witches of Mountain Shadow short stories. Again, that's patreon.com/Tara Benner Labs. This week's featured book is Recon, book 1 of The Fringe. Nuclear war destroyed the Earth, but Harper's world was perfect until she met Eli Parker. As a promising up-and-coming developer, she should have been a shoo-in for a cushy job in systems. Instead, she was drafted into Recon, kicking and screaming onto Eli's squad. For Eli, death is just your average Tuesday. Most of his cadets don't last a year. When your job is to venture out into the radiation-soaked fringe, you learn not to get attached to anyone. Harper Riley should be no different, but she's gotten under Eli's skin. She started asking lots of questions. Dangerous questions with no good answers. Eli wants to save her despite his better judgment, but can Eli save her from herself? Right now, you can get Recon for free wherever books are sold, and that title is actually being featured as the free sci-fi dystopian title on Kobo.com right now. I will put a link to that down in the show notes. All right, it's time for my little life updates that I do each and every week. And I actually don't have a ton to share this week. I actually had a little bit of a cold this weekend, and so I didn't do a whole lot. I could feel it coming on, and my throat was real sore, and I was kind of stuffy, and so I just kind of came to a full stop, and I was just resting and getting lots of sleep and drinking fluids. And Sunday, it was like a really beautiful day, and I was just kind of sacked out on the front porch in the shade, just being lazy. And I think it really helped because it never morphed into like a fully fledged sickness. I kicked the whole thing in like 2 days. Like I went from kind of feeling like it was getting worse a little bit every day, and then it just went away. And so, yeah. If you find yourself coming down with a little early fall cold and you have the time, definitely take the time to just rest and support your body, because I'm a firm believer that you can kick a lot of things before they really have the chance to get going. But yeah, I didn't get a whole lot done or do anything super crazy this weekend. But I am this week preparing for my very first ukulele gig, which is kind of exciting. I am in a ukulele ensemble, and I meet every week with them in Woodland Park, which is about half an hour from where I live. And I think our group is like 14 or 16 strong now. And most of them are in their like 60s and 70s. But there's a couple people my age, and we just got our youngest member. I think he's probably, I don't know, maybe 11 or something. And so that's kind of cool. It's like all ages. And we're playing at the farmer's market on Friday when this goes live. But it's in the middle of the day, and my husband is working. And so I'm actually taking my son to the ukulele gig. Very rock and roll, I know. And so we'll see how he does. This will be his first musical ensemble experience. And so hopefully he's a good boy for that. But everyone in the group is super cool and they were very supportive of me bringing him. And so, yeah, that's what I'll be doing Friday afternoon. We have our set list already and we kind of ran through it at rehearsal on Tuesday. And so I'm real excited. I think it's going to be fun. And at the very least, even if it's bad, most people will be shopping at the farmer's market and ignoring us. So, but that's all really I've been doing this week. It's time for my little writing update, I suppose. And this week was kind of a weird one for me because Dragon Kingdom has been with my beta readers. Like after working so intensely and really grinding away at the manuscript to revise it, it's been gone. I haven't touched it since I sent it off because I knew I was going to have to make changes and I didn't want to do my final read through until I'd made those changes. And I already got feedback from 2 of my betas and I'm waiting for the rest of it. It should come in on Friday. Everything's happening on Friday, the day you listen to this. But I can't report on any of it because I'm recording this on Thursday. But since I haven't been working on the main manuscript, that's my current work in progress, I have been finalizing The Silver Flame Dragon, which is the prequel novella to that series. Part 3 of that will go out to patrons, as I said, on the 1st of the month. And that's been really satisfying to get that all wrapped up and kind of finished. And it's been good to be working on that and book 1 concurrently because little things that I needed to change or adjust or add into the world, I've been able to do that. And I've also had time this week to sit down and plan how I am going to be launching the series. Since it is a new series and it's in a new genre for me, it's going to be kind of an interesting launch. And if you recall, if you've been with me a long time, you might remember that I did something kind of unconventional for the launch of Ether Witch because it was a big genre jump for me. And so, not to get too in the weeds as far as like the business marketing aspect of publishing, the big concern right now for authors who write in multiple genres is the Amazon algorithms. And essentially, it's really important not just that your book be bought in the first few weeks, but that it be bought by the correct audience. And so when I launched Ether Witch, I didn't necessarily want all my dystopian post-apocalyptic sci-fi people going to buy it in those first few weeks because then Amazon would start recommending it to readers in the wrong genre rather than paranormal fantasy readers. And so I did kind of like a secret launch for Ether Witch where I said, if you already read this genre, you want to be informed, let me know. I'll put you on this special list and I'll tell you when it goes live. And I also did some things to kind of work with the algorithms. I bought some Amazon ads and was just trying to get those served to the correct audience. And it worked out really well. I didn't have, if you ever shop on Amazon, you'll notice that nowadays most of the carousels are ads, but they used to be almost entirely a section called customers who bought this also bought this. And so you wanted to be showing up in the also bots for similar books. And with Ether Rich, I was pretty successful at that. And my mentality now is that I really want that same thing to occur, but I don't know that I want to do a secret launch. What I've been playing around with for the last years, maybe not the last year, last 6 months or so, I've really been thinking that I want to try to do a rapid release. As in, book 1 comes out at a lower price, like 99 cents. And then a month later or a few weeks later, book 2 comes out. And then book 3 comes out shortly after that. Just because it's, again, the algorithms, the almighty algorithms, it makes a big difference. But in order to do that, I can't write a book a month. Like there are lots of authors who can. I probably could if I didn't have a 1-year-old. But with my lifestyle right now, I can't. And I've struggled to write books faster than every 4 months or so. And so what that means is I essentially need to bank a book or two. I really wanted to rapid release the first 3 books, but I just don't think that's going to be practical. And so I'm going to be holding back book 1 from the retailers, from Amazon, because it's going to be in Kindle Unlimited to start out. So that means it's exclusive to Amazon to start out. But I'm doing something I've never done before with this launch, which is I'm going to be releasing it first from my own online store. And so I'm going to be releasing book 1 in October from my website. You won't be able to get it anywhere else. And then I will be releasing it on Amazon probably mid to late January. And then that will give me time to write book 2, and I will be releasing book 2 about a month after book 1, releasing that at full price. And I was really hoping to be able to release book 3 about a month after that, but in order to do that, I would have to hold off on the release of book 1 for another 2 months or something. And I can't do that. Even waiting until mid to late February to launch it, I can't wait that long. That's crazy. And so I think, book 2 will probably come out mid to late February, and then book 3 will be out likely in, optimistically May, but maybe June. And so, but you will be able to get those from my website first. And so I'm thinking what I'm going to do is bundle book 1 and book 2 and maybe even the novella. I'm not sure. So you'll be able to go to my site and buy those together at a good price. But essentially book 2 will be a pre-order. And so you'll be able to read book 1 right away, but not book 2 until it's ready to go. And the reason I'm going to be bundling them is because I am planning to release book 1 on Amazon at 99 cents. As of right now, that could change. But I don't want to screw over the people who are going to come buy it from me first, because I realize it's not as convenient as buying from Amazon, where maybe all your credit card information is stored, where it just poof, magically appears on your Kindle. I know that it's kind of a little bit different to buy direct from the author, but it's something that I really want to move toward more in the future. A big part of that is I get to keep almost all the profits. I think Shopify takes 3% or something like that. Whereas on Amazon is automatically going to take 30%. And if I launch a book at 99 cents, they're actually taking almost 70% of what I make. And so you're getting some change, the useless type of change that won't even feed your parking meter. It gets lost in your car or the bottom of your purse. And so I'm not crazy about that, but it is a way to kind of get that first book into more people's hands and get the series off to a good start. But to make things fair for my current readers, I think the bundle will essentially be, book 1 at 99 cents plus whatever I would charge for book 2 when that comes out on Amazon. And then I might also bundle the novella. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really excited about that. And the other reason I want to sell direct from my site is I can control that reader experience. And so when you go to my site, or my new bookshop, it's really clean and a nice, calming shopping experience. You're not bombarded by ads for 30 other books, so much so that you forget that you were there to buy my book, which is how Amazon is right now, unfortunately. And it's kind of like when I walk into Target. I love Target. But as soon as I walk in that store, I get so overwhelmed, I immediately forget what I came there for. So I have to have a list in my hand. Otherwise, I'm going to walk out of there with $60 worth of things that I didn't plan on buying and none of the things that I actually went in to buy. And so same thing happens at Walmart, really any big box store, which is why I never shop without a list of the things I need. And I don't want it to be like that when people go to buy one of my books. I want them to come to my site. It's a beautiful experience. It's really easy to check out. The book is delivered immediately to their inbox, and I have that direct connection. And so I'm really excited by that. and which kind of leads into the next thing I've been working on, which is getting that store all set up. I played around with Shopify for the launch of Warrior Witch. If you remember, I bundled that and the Witch's Fortune together, and that went really well. Like, I had no issues. Readers came and they bought the books, and I was so excited. But that was a much smaller scale thing. I only had, those handful of products available. But now I'm in the process of getting my entire catalog put on my Shopify store. And I'm calling it the Littlest Indie Bookshop, kind of like the Littlest Pet Shop if you're a child of the 90s and you remember those, except it's online and it's a real thing, and it's just my store with only my books. And so you'll be able to go there very soon and buy books directly from me, the author, knowing that you are supporting an independent author almost exclusively, rather than putting a ton of money in the pockets of these big corporations. Not that I have any issue with Amazon or any of the other retailers. I'm grateful to them because Amazon in particular changed my life with, the ability to reach readers and do this full time. But the market is changing. It's much harder to get discovered kind of organically on Amazon. And it's hard to sell your own books on Amazon, even when you pay money to drive traffic to your book page, because like I said, it's so easy for a reader to get on that page and get distracted by the ads for 30 other books. I mean, a lot of times if I search myself on Amazon, other people will come up instead of me. Like, I'm not the first result. A lot of authors I know, they run what they call defensive ads, whereas, which means they pay money for Amazon ads so that when a reader searches their name, they actually come up. I've done that in the past. Right now, I'm not doing that because I've way scaled back my ad spend because of all these other investments I'm making in my company. And I'm sure I lose sales every day. And so that's why I'm really excited about the bookshop. I'm going to be launching it hopefully in early September. And I want to do a big splashy sale for my readers. I'm going to be offering a discount on probably, if not everything in the store, at least all the digital products in the store, because I really want my paperbacks to be competitive with Amazon. There's no way for me to do that with signed paperbacks because of the back and forth. Like, I don't keep books in stock. I don't have the space for it. I have like 25 books now. And so I have to order those in, and then I personalize them, sign them, and then mail them back out. So there's no way for me to make that comparable to the list price for a book on Amazon unless I raise my prices like crazy on Amazon, which I don't want to do. And so, but I'm thinking that unsigned books, I can make my pricing competitive on my own site. And I'm thinking about maybe doing book plates so that there's a lower cost way to get a book personalized and signed. It would just be a separate kind of sticker that goes on the inside. Anyway, I have lots of ideas. I haven't executed on all of them because I have a lot to do, and I get my beta feedback tomorrow. So I'm running out of time. I need to wrap up the show, but that's it for my writing updates. Make sure you go to my website and join my mailing list so that you are alerted to the big sale that I'm planning. Anyway, it's time for What Am I Reading This Week? And this week, I just finished From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It was fantastic. I stayed up late multiple nights reading, and I just blew through it. And now I'm reading A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, which is book 2. I'm equally engaged in that one. And it's so funny. I don't know why I do this. Probably because I'm an author, but it's really interesting for me to go read the reviews of a book after I've already read it. Usually I read the reviews before I buy a book, but this title came so highly recommended from my author friend that I had no really idea what the book was about. I kind of went into it blind and I didn't read any of the reviews. And then I went back, and of course, I think it's got like 12,000 reviews on Amazon with a huge like 5-star average. So people love this book, but then even people who love the book, a lot of them have like major issues with it. Like they have issues with the romantic relationship for reasons I won't get into for spoilers. But there's just a lot. People are really nitpicky these days, I think, when it comes to books that get so much hype, which I feel is unfair, because a book gets hype because it's good and enjoyable. It doesn't mean that you should like go after it with like a super fine-tooth comb just to like find something wrong with it to prove all these people who loved it wrong. But the review that like killed me was like, they were like, oh, I hate how it's always this like virgin female protagonist and a sexually experienced male protagonist. I would love to read a book where that's reversed and the male is the unexperienced one. And I was thinking to myself, I'm sorry, like I don't feel like that would sell, like except in some very niche some very niche readerships. People just, they find like all the things to be mad about. It's so funny to me. I mean, it's not funny like as an author, because as an author, I'm like, why can't people just be happy with a book? I mean, the complaints were all on 4-star reviews. And so it was like, I love this book. It was so addictive, but here's my laundry list of gripes about it. There are lots of things, issues with like the touching and like the kind of like romantic dynamic between these two. But it's like, as an author, you're thinking, well, if those things were removed, it wouldn't be like a steamy, like sexy, addictive book. Like you can't take out all those kind of edgy things and have it be the same. You just can't. And so, I don't know. That's just my little author soapbox. It's like, please be kind in reviews, and it's okay to leave a 4-star review. But if you love the book, like give it a 5-star review. And if you didn't love a book, maybe don't leave reviews. Especially don't leave a rating with no review. That's my like ultimate pet peeve, is when I like see like a 3-star or 2-star rating and then there's no review like explaining why. Like I feel like you should have to justify yourself if you're kind of knocking a book down a peg, because authors work really hard on their books, and a lot of us, I would say almost all of us, just trying to make a living. So anyway, soapbox over. I'm very chatty this week. I don't know what my deal is. But before we go, let's check the mailbox. And this week we have a YouTube comment from Frankie on the Ether Witch audiobook. And Frankie writes, will book 2 be an audiobook soon? Audiobooks are how I pass the time as an over-the-road driver. I would love to buy the whole series if it was available. This is the best book/audiobook I have come across. Thank you so much for your sweet comment, Frankie. I am so happy that you enjoyed the book. To answer your question, books 2 through 4 are finished and books 3 and 4 are available. The issue with book 2 is, as I think I've talked about, I am in the process of buying out my narrator on that series, and I resubmitted the book 2 audiobook a while ago, and I'm still waiting for it to be approved. So as of this moment in time, it is temporarily down, but it should be live again, hopefully very soon. And then, of course, you can get books 3 and 4 of that series as well. I'm hoping to get the rest of this series done either this fall or early 2023. So they are all coming. That's very much a priority for me. I love audio myself. I love my audiobook listeners. If you have a burning question or a comment that you'd like for me to read on the show, you can send it to tarahbenner@gmail.com, or you can post them on any of my social media channels. I am at author Tarah Benner on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I am Tarah Benner Author on YouTube. You can also post them in our secret reader group, Tarah Benner's Reader Revolution. That's on Facebook. That's all I have for you this week, but feel free to stay in my cabin for as long as you like. We can drink all the coffee, you can crack open a good book, hopefully one of mine, and have a wonderful weekend.